What's the relationship between order and item?
Many to many.
Many to many. Because the order has many items. You can have many things in the same order. And the item can be in what? In multiple orders, right? Like many people can order a certain burger or a certain pizza. Okay, what's the relation between customer and item?
Many to many.
There is no relation between customer and item. Okay, so your relation, me as a customer, I am related to orders. Okay, to my orders. Like I am a customer. I don't have a relation with burgers. Okay, I have relation with orders, and my orders can have relations with this item. Okay, so my relation with items is through orders that I have, not right away as a customer. Okay, so one to many between customer and order, and many to many between order and item. Okay, what extra information can we have in the third table between order and item? Yeah. So one very important uh, extra information between order and item is what is the quantity you want. So, for example, in the order number one, you want the item number two. Okay, you want number two, which is, let's say, French fries. Okay, so you will say, what is the quantity? Okay, like how many units, how many French fries, how many uh, pizzas, how many burgers. So the quantity is one very important extra information in the third table between order and item. Okay, so make sure to have this one. Okay, so I think you have all the required things to do now. Okay, so just 5 minutes to create them. It won't take longer than that. And then we will create them together. Okay, so please open your SQL Server and start creating those tables.
We don't need an extra order number if we have IDs on the order, right?
Well, it really depends. Some places they do, like they have an
Okay.
order number for the database and an
So
order
put it
number
in.
for. Yeah, so they have order number for databases and
Okay.
a readable order number for customers. So,
Okay.
like, we can add it, it won't hurt. Okay, it's the order number that people can memorize, while the ID in the database could be like a very long bunch of like a GUID, which you don't want to show to people.
I'll be right back, Mohammed. It's requiring me to restart.
Okay.
Sorry, for the price of the item, float or int?
No, usually prices are float, which
Okay.
will translate to double in our
Sometimes
conversion.
you like to make it easy and just, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, it's like it won't matter now. It's a number, okay? So it won't affect anything. But just so you know that usually money is float. Okay, and it will translate to double.
Mohammed, if you're just waiting for me, go ahead. If it's just the database, the controllers, I can set that up. I'm back online now, so
Um, sorry, you are saying you want to continue without the database, or
no, I'm saying you guys can go ahead. I'll catch up. The database tables and that I can do quickly. So go ahead if you're waiting.
okay, yeah, okay. So let's do them. Okay. So first, let's create the tables.
What is the name of the project? Restaurant or something like that?
Yeah, just restaurant or anything. Okay. So new database. Okay, and let's create the tables. So this is for the customer. And maybe you can have something like address. Okay. Second one is for orders. So you can say the ID is the same as order number or they are different. So order number can be like a long string that you just call it order number, but whatever, like it really depends on what you want. Okay, consider the ID as the number, create another number for people. It's the policy of the restaurant or whatever. So let's just make this a long string. And one important thing to have is the customer ID. And then you can have something like placed or date placed. Okay, what is the date? Okay. This is a primary key. Okay. And let's do the relationships. So there's a relation here between this one and the customer, the ID of a customer will match to the customer ID in this table. Okay. Then we have the item. So the name of the item. Okay. What else can we have in the item?
Right.
Yeah, obviously the price of the item.
should we go back to order then and put in a total?
Yeah. So when it comes to total and delivery and stuff, we will try to update it later. Okay. So we will add those as like a bonus. But of course, an order could have a total cost for sure. It will also have a status. So is it delivered? Is it placed? Is it cancelled? Okay. So we said there's a relation between order and item. Okay, so the last one is item order or order item. So this one is one ID of an order and item ID. Okay. So let's add the relationships. Okay, so ID of the order will match to order ID in this table. In the item, item ID. Okay. So instead of many to many, we have two relations that are one to many. Okay, let's bring this to our Visual Studio. So let's add a new item. Right click on the project name, add a new item. In the data, let's add the models. Okay, so we have the database. Let's create a connection. Our server address is SQL Express. And the table is restaurant. Okay, we need all the tables and finish. Okay, so let's create the controllers. Okay, for those classes. We will start with a simple one, with a simple get. Then we will start going to the post ones. Okay. So let's rebuild our solution. Okay. Okay, so time to add some controllers. So we want the customer controller first. Order controller. Item. Finally, the order item. Okay. Okay, so we have all the controllers working now. We can insert some test data either here or directly in the database. Okay. So just to warm up, let's create a page. Okay. So let's go back to home. Okay. Okay. So we want to create a page to show all the orders of a customer. Okay. So let's start by this one. Okay. So please start working on it. No. I'm just using the home. No, of course, this should be in the customer controller. But I'm just using home controller to write everything, the questions. Okay. So when I give you the application, you will know where are the questions. Okay. No, home controller for now, we won't use it for anything. Okay. Okay.
What do you want us to return, Mohammed? List of order objects or like list of order numbers?
Well, I want to see the orders. Okay. That's the main thing. So show whatever you want. Okay, so you will notice that we will need some extra stuff. So as Kevin said, like order number shouldn't be enough. So okay. So that's our first modification we want to do. So of course, every time you work with any project, you don't start knowing everything that you want or you will have in the application. You always go back, add something, come here and modify it. So we want to get used to modifying our project, okay, especially our database, without losing everything, without destroying the whole thing, okay? So after you create the first table or the first page, sorry, okay, I want you to add this and then fields to the So let's see if we can try playing with all the code that we have without the whole program collapsing on us. So one problem or one issue we were facing with many students that every time they have any change, they will delete the whole project and start a brand new one. Now it feels like, okay, an option, but when you spend months working on a project, then you have a change, okay, you won't be able to delete months of work and start over, okay? So we are trying to learn today post functions with the ability to change without deleting everything, okay? So please don't end up deleting everything. We want to continue upon this. Okay, so I want the is pickup to be mandatory. So after you make is pickup mandatory, you need to be careful that, okay, this is order. Okay, let's go to order controller. So when you are creating an order, notice that you are not saying what is like where is the pickup. Okay, so can you change the code to make it work? Okay, now keep working with the home. Okay, but this is just like heads up for something that's coming. Okay, so let's start doing it together. I'm pretty sure it isn't very hard. Okay, so in the order, where's the order? Okay, that's the order. No, that's the item. Okay, that's the order. So we said I want to add is pick up. okay, which is a bit. So, you know, your orders are either you want to pick up or to deliver. Okay, so this is a bit, and I said I wanted mandatory. Now, if you have lots of orders already, that would be an issue. Okay, there are ways to fix that, but let's assume that we don't have orders, so we don't want to deal with two problems. And the last one is total cost. Okay, this one can be, of course, it can be null in the beginning because you don't know the total cost when you are just creating the order, right? So this one will be float. Okay. So let's save this one. Okay. Let's try to update our ADMX. Okay, so note that we have is pickup and total cost, they just came. No, well, actually, like every time I'm giving a question, I'm giving like 5-10 minutes, so you can try to do it. Yeah, it's too bad you are not able to do so, but so please, once we are done, once you solve the problem, try to do everything yourself again. Okay, so we have the two new things. Okay, so let's try to create an order now. Okay, so those are the orders. Let's create a new one. So this is order number that a user can see. So let's call it OR 001. Okay, that's what the users can see.
We need to customer
I
first.
guess I sorry.
No, I was just gonna tell you we need to make a customer first.
Yeah, exactly. So let's create a customer first. You can't have an order without a customer. What's happening here? So let's create a customer. Okay, our friend Mike, and yeah, he is at MITT. Okay, now we can create orders. So it's for Mike, and we said OR001. So the date place, it can be null. Okay, let's keep it null for now. We will change, like, we will change our code to take the now, okay? By default, that's something we'll do later. Okay, so this is the order. Let's go here. And okay, let's go to tables. Okay, so you will notice that is pickup, okay, by default is getting to false, right? So that's very fortunate. Like if you have like another value that won't transit, like a date time, for example, that won't allow nulls, you would have had an exception. Okay, so we don't have an exception here, but you will notice that it's always false. And like look at my code. I can't, like when I am creating one, I'm not able to see if it's is for pickup. Okay, or like to define it. And also I am not able to see it here. So what is the part of my code that I need to change? Now imagine that you can't delete the controller and bring it back. Like imagine your controller is full of months of work, right? So this is the case. Now you may say, okay, can't we just delete the controller, generate it again? Yes, we can, and it will work, okay? But we are assuming that we can't lose months of work or days of work, okay? Delete the controller and generate it again. So what I want you to do now is to add is pickup and total cost, okay? First here, okay? And in the create a new, I just want is pickup because when you are creating an order, you don't specify what is the total cost, right? This is something you calculate later. But when you are creating an order, like order number, order ID, date, here there should be a place where I say, is this for pickup or not? Okay. So you have this, addition. Okay. Let's make it work. Let's see where are the places I have this code. Okay. Like someone wrote it. I just joined this place. I just joined this company. Okay. Someone wrote this code and I want to modify it. Okay. So let's try to do it. And this is actually like 99% of what you will be doing tomorrow. You will go to a company, they have a project that they have been working on for months. And then always like add this feature, modify this feature. The first thing you need to know is where to modify and what is the modification. So there are always two parts of any change. Okay. Now we are starting easy. Okay. But don't worry, we will go to the hard parts very soon. Okay. So we are assuming that someone else have this project and now we are trying to enhance it with is pickup. Okay. So let's try to do it. By the way, your assignments are really great. Well, most like for most of you. So if you like, we can increase the level of the upcoming projects and exams. If if you want something more challenging, or I don't want you to feel that everything is very easy. Okay, and there's no challenge or like projects and assignments are very easy. So if you want, if the majority agrees, okay, we can like in the upcoming ones, I can add like few extra hard questions maybe if if this is something you are interested in. Okay. Because like when we create an assignment or project, we always think about all levels, so we make it average. Okay, we don't make it super hard or super easy. Okay, let's work on this one first, then we can talk about that later. Okay, is it clear what is the task? When I am creating an order, I am not, there's no place for me to say if it's pickup or not. And I'm not seeing it in the index. So I want this change without deleting the controller and generating it again. Once you're done, please let me know. Okay. Anyone?
No.
Okay, Sule, let's see what do you have. Anybody else? Yeah, Sule, Yushin.
Yeah, I finished too.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so can you tell us exactly what are the changes you made?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. So
So, in
even though we didn't talk about bind before, but the you are noticing that all the properties are here, okay, inside
Yeah.
this string. Okay, so you will notice that, oh, then is pickup should be here as well, even if you don't know what is this. Okay, so you added it here. Okay, what about the view?
great. I just copy and change this pickup. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no shame of copy pasting a piece of code if you know what's going on and if you review it, if you reviewed it word by word. So you need to be very careful that you may be copy pasting something that still has the word um, customer ID in it. And that's when, like, for example, everything will be a mess. So you need to review it word by word to make sure that this is exactly what you want. Okay, so you want a label for, and notice how, notice how, for example, uh, Soleil didn't copy the drop down list because you don't have a drop down list for pickup. You don't have to choose from a drop down list. You need just an editor for. And do you remember what was the difference between editor and editor for?
Maybe the for use the strict
Yeah.
This name, and the editor you can name it.
Yeah, so editor 4 is dynamic, okay? You just pass the property you have, okay? And it will know what kind of editor you want. Like, do you want a text editor? Do you want a checkbox? Okay? Do you want a numeric editor? Okay? While editor alone won't be that dynamic. You need to specify what's the exact thing you want. Okay, and validation message for, like, is pickup, it's mandatory, so you can't live without it. Okay, did you change the edit page?
Yeah, sounds so.
Okay, so same thing goes for edit.
Yeah.
Okay, and in edit controller.
We just added
Okay.
this one.
Okay, let's test this.
Okay. Oh, can you see?
No.
Oh,
We can only see Visual Studio actually.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see that is pickup is here.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing is missing, and it's here as well. The only thing that's missing is the total cost we wanted in the index page. Okay. But I guess you can add it as well since. Okay, so here in this page, we just want to add the total cost. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Suli. So this is a very simple change, but this is actually more important than anything we're learning, because now we're learning how to do MVC, how to do stuff, but tomorrow you may end up not working with MVC, and this is like the highest possibility. Okay, most of the time you won't work with MVC. So what will remain with you is your ability to fix code, your ability to change code, your ability to find things, to solve problems. This is what's going to stay with you. while like the specific things about this language, you may end up like not using LINQ at all, for example. But the way of thinking of LINQ, the way of querying a database, this is something will stay with you. Okay, so we want to focus on those, what you can say, non-direct skills. Okay, we don't want to be like uh, experts in MVC, memorize every function, every library, without getting the techniques to work with it. Okay, so now let's create that orders page. Okay, so let's create that orders page that will show you the order number, was it for pickup, and it will show you the total cost of each order you made. Okay, so we want a page to show all the orders for a customer. Okay, anyways done. Orders of a customer. Okay, so what we're doing again is we see a sample answer and we give you the opportunity to do it yourself again.
What does the error mean when it says HTML does not exist in the current context?
It's most likely Visual Studio is just going crazy. You can run your program and it will go, it will work, unless you really deleted something or did something bad. But sometimes you will see red lines here in the views. Like you will see red lines everywhere telling you this thing doesn't exist, but you didn't do anything wrong. Look, like those lines. Are you? Oh, I have the same. So it just needs like few seconds to process.
Yeah, I tried that and it's still there. And I ran it and it said that there was an exception.
Well, can you try rebuilding, like clean solution and rebuild?
Okay.
But you didn't delete or do anything. Did you delete something here and there?
No.
Okay. Okay, order pages. Show all orders. Okay, so this page is just a showing, okay? It's just a get part. The next one that we want will include a post part. And then after the break, we will talk about select lists. Okay, Hans, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, okay, let's see what you have. Okay, so the controller and the view for this one is very easy. Like it shouldn't really take lots of time. Okay. So the controller is just returning all the customers. Okay. So customer.orders.toList. Okay. First, check the customer, check if he's there. Then return customer.allOrders. You don't even need to filter here. Okay. Now, if we said return the recent free orders, we return the orders in this year. Okay. That would be a different story. Okay. And what do you have in the view? Okay, so just return orders. So in the view, you are sending a list of orders, right? Okay, so for each order in this list, you can type whatever you want. Okay, how many items, what is the total cost, what was the pickup or delivery. You have the whole thing. You can just use it. Okay, so this is just a small warm up for our pages. Yeah, thank you very much, Hans. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you can write this one on your own without any trouble. Okay, so the one that we need now, okay, is something we did a few days ago and we stopped doing. Okay, so we want a page just to update the quantity in an order item. Okay, so what do we need here? Sorry, I wasn't sharing. Okay, so create a page to update the quantity in an order item. So when we say that the user is not only getting stuff, the user, okay, the user of our website is also updating, is sending stuff to the server. What do we have here? Like what kind of request is this?
Post.
Yeah, so it's HTTP post. Okay, so in all the previous ones that we've been doing for the last few days, the user was seeing stuff, getting stuff. So now first we want a simple post, then we will do a post with a select list. Okay, so the first one we want here, we are not selecting. We want to have an order item. Okay, we have the ID. We want to post the new quantity. After that, we will select from a list of items. Okay, so let's do that. And remember that for this kind of functions, you need an HTTP post and an HTTP get. Both of them should be present. Okay, so let's try doing that.
When you say update, do you mean edit or create or
No, update means change. Okay, like it.
so edit
Yeah,
was
update.
already there? Okay.
Yeah. If it's not already there, that would have been create. Okay. Okay, anyone is done?
But
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's
Me
take a
too.
look. Yeah, it's been few days. Like we did it one time, so now our focus will be mostly on the post, and our labs actually will also be on post. So let's see what you have. Okay, we don't care if it's correct or wrong. Okay, we're just practicing here, but expect a lot of posts from now on. Okay, that's our main focus now. So edit quantity, you have two types. Okay, so we said before, if you don't specify the attribute, then it's HTTP GET by default. Okay, so, and of course, in HTML, you have so many other functions. Okay, HTTP put, HTTP delete, but the ones that we use most of the time are get and post. So edit quantity, all what you need is the ID of the order item. Okay, that's good. You are checking if it's there, and then you are returning that order item. Okay, now in the post, okay, you are collecting the ID of the item you are changing and the quantity. So what should you do? You are finding the order ID item and you are changing the quantity, then saving the changes. Okay. Is this clear? Okay, of course I will do it. I will do it in my code. So let's see your HTML. So the most important thing is what we, oh, you stole the code from the edit page.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to write it ourselves from now on. Okay, just to get used to creating forms. Okay. So the important thing is the at using HTML begin form. This is equal to the form tag in HTML. Okay, but with more features and with more control. Okay, since it's a new way of writing it. Okay, anti-forgery token, that's part of our security thing. We'll talk about it. Okay, so you have the hidden for the model. I guess we can live without it here. Okay, since we are passing, but it's fine. So what you have here is editor for the quantity, okay, and the validation. Okay, so uh, just a regular form. I will write it now without all the validation things. Okay, validation is a class itself. What's also important is line 30. So look at line 30, input type submit and value. Okay, so this is the button you click to submit. Okay, so the type should be submit. Otherwise, you won't be able to submit anything to the server. Okay, and that's how you change quantity. Okay, let me write the code for it. Okay, thank you very much, Slay. So it should work. I'm not sure. Did you try it?
Yeah, I tried. It's work.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the code looks fine. So I guess there shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so in the orders item, okay, we said we want to update quantity. So first one is HTTP GET. So you can have it, can say that it's HTTP GET. Okay, so this one will be update quantity. Okay, and here we just need the ID of the order item that I want to update the quantity for. Okay, of course, I need to check for nulls. I need to check that it's there. Okay, just like we do all the time. And then I will return this order item. Okay, now in the next ones, we will have more things when it comes to select lists. So this is HTTP post. Okay, this is the code that happens after you press the submit button. This is what you send to the server and the server code that will be executed to update the quantity. Okay, so it should be the same name. Quantity. So you need an ID and you need the quantity. Okay. So here I need to get var the order item equals db.orderItems.find, or you can use first or default. Okay. So here we are assuming it's not null. Okay. But if it's null, then we have a problem. Okay. Otherwise, what should I do? I have the order item. I need to update the quantity. So the quantity will be the quantity I send, okay? The one in the parameter, the one that I chose, okay? And then I want to save the changes. Okay, so this is the part that happens to execute the update, to save the changes. Okay, so I sent a new quantity after clicking submit or save or whatever. Okay, it will go to the server and it will be changed and then it will be saved. Okay, and here I can just okay, I can just go back to the index. Okay, so now this is the code part. Okay, I need to do the view part. So going to the order items, okay, let's create this page. So let's create a view here called update quantity. Okay. So what are you sending to this page? You are sending a piece of order item. So this one is called restaurant app dot order item. Okay, I'm sending one object of order item, not a list. Okay. So I want to update the quantity at using HTML dot begin form. So begin form can take some parameters. Okay, we will see them later, but by default, it will just do the regular post that we are used to, and it won't post to another page. Okay, so what do you need here? You need something like at HTML dot editor for quantity. Okay. I keep messing up this. What happened? Yeah, I guess probably div or something. We can have a PR. Then we can have an input. Type equals submit and the value. Yeah, sorry, I'm not the best when it comes to front end design, so it will look extremely terrible. Update, let's call it update quantity. Okay. So let's try it out, see if we are missing anything. I guess we need to create an item and order item. So we need to have everything if we want to test this one. Okay, so we have orders, we have an order, we have a customer. Let's create an item. Okay, so this item is called Big Mac. Okay, it's $10. And then let's create order items. So for the order number 1, the person wants one, let's say he wants 3 Big Macs. Okay, that's how the third table works. Okay, in the first order or in this order, we have a Big Mac and we have 3 pieces. Okay, so we want now to update oh no, it's inside order items, update quantity. Yeah, what's the problem here?
You need an ID of the
Yeah.
order item.
So we need an ID. Okay. So the quantity now, C3, it will show you the current quantity. Okay. So let's make it, oh, like he found out that he needs 5 actually. Okay. And we updated it to 5. Let's go to the database and go to order items. Let's select top 1000. I don't want to edit. And you will notice that the quantity is updated to 5. Okay. So that's all what we needed to do. Okay. We don't have to keep copy pasting code. So all what it takes is to create a form. Of course, now if you want validations, if you want to protect from forgery stuff, yeah, you need to like a full set of stuff. But the basic thing here is to have a form, to have a submit, and to have what you want inside the form. Okay. For now, the ID will be posted to us. So we don't even need the ID in a hidden field. Okay. You can save whatever you want. There's something called hidden. Okay. So here you can like HTML dot hidden or hidden for. Hidden takes a string. Okay. What you want to hide. Hidden for here, for example, you can say, I want to send model dot ID. Okay. But usually hidden is like used for this one, and it's used for stuff that you want to send without the user noticing, or without the user, like you don't want the user to know because it's not important for him. But maybe you want to send the IP of the user. Okay. Maybe you want to send some statistics. Of course, you know, when they tell you that they are tracking you and Facebook knows everything about you, they send everything they can collect from your machine in hidden fields. and they can send it there. So this one you won't be able to see in your front end page. Okay, like people will comment, will like, and he will click okay, post. Like people will think that they are just sending the text of the post or the comment, but in fact you are sending almost like everything they can collect, anything. Okay, they will even send like maybe where you where were you, and what are the cookies you have in your browser, like anything they can collect, they will put it in hidden fields and send it. Okay, IDs, IP addresses, cookies, any statistics, any logs they can find, anything that can collect. Okay, so you will notice they have a hidden for here, but it works without to hide the ID because the page is reusing the same ID when you want to post. Okay, now if you are choosing the ID, okay, if the ID is changing, then you need to have this hidden for. Okay, we'll talk about it later in more detail, but in case you saw it in some pages, like the edit, I guess, you will notice that it's here. They are usually they send the ID again as hidden. Okay. Okay. But what we want to focus now is begin form and the submit and the editors for the stuff that we want to change. Okay. Now, after the break, we will see how you can select a value from a set of values. So for example, you can select what order ID you want to change. You can select what is the item that you actually want to change, okay? Or who is the customer, or okay? Just like what we do usually when we are working with any website. Okay, this is like the next step in post functions.
Can I see the order item again?
The controller. Okay, so do you want the get is nothing but get, and this is the post.
In the get, what do you say? Let me check again.
Get, we are just getting the ID, the order item ID.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question about that part. We don't. Are
Sorry.
you going to put a question mark on that end?
Well, you can. It won't hurt, but you are assuming that, like, if a question mark is just to make sure that
It's null
the
or not.
user didn't enter an ID. Now, if you're already in this page, then for sure you have an ID.
Somebody
Okay.
has entered something. Then why would we need an order item equals null at the inside of that function?
Well, this is order item equals null, not the
Mhm.
ID equals null. So ID equals null is, do you know, like, do you
Oh,
remember
the ID can be typed in, but it might not be the order item.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Sorry.
you may say, okay, but it was here, but maybe by the time you are updating the quantity, someone else deleted the order item. Okay, so by the time you are trying to grab it, okay, before clicking post, okay, and it happens. Okay, like another customer service just deleted this one, so it will the ID will remain 3 5, but the order item itself will be none. Okay, so there's a difference between the two. Okay, so we'll meet after the break. Okay.